Welcome to a coffee break tennis quick sip edition. Mr. Goat's gone. Got a new cup. So, Federer is through. Grigor Dimitrov is through. These are the first guys to get in, and I predicted that we would have this final, the baby fed versus grown-up fed, all fed extravaganza final. It looks like it's very possible now because the first two guys in the final four are my guys to get to the final two. So we'll see if they can hold to that. Alexander Zverev has been pretty good. Jack Sock has been pretty good. I got it wrong on Marin Cilic, but I don't feel too bad because he could have won both of those matches. He really should have won against Jack Sock. He kind of blew a couple opportunities, leads in the tiebreak and the third set. But it's okay. I get it wrong sometimes. I was close. Marin Cilic used his experience to have a couple pretty good matches, but lost in 3 both times. We'll see. It's going to come down to Alexander Zverev and Jack Sock playing tomorrow. And I guess Federer will play Cilic, but it doesn't really matter what happens there. Federer can just win it to make sure that he stays #1 in the group. He won't have to play Grigor if Grigor finishes #1 in the other group, which I think he will. Right now we got Carreño Busta, and Dominic Thiem playing. That's a toss-up. I don't know who would win that. You would hope for Thiem since he's been known as like a up-and-coming star of the game for so long. But, you know, Busta's had a good year, and he's going to fight hard. All right, so let's get to the main video. It's all about the slice, stupid. So I say that joking around. I don't think you're stupid. In fact, I want to thank you for watching Coffee Break Tennis, tuning in today to the most highly anticipated, most dreamed about tennis talk show in the world. And the fastest growing, most popular. All that. I'm your host, Matt Bradshaw. Let's talk about the slice. I was alarmed because I've heard throughout the year, especially during Wimbledon, of all places, people saying, uh-oh. You know, okay, first off, let me just say, this is like a media-created monster. Now, the tennis media, they're fine, but they've talked about Roger's one-handed backhand. Now he's coming over the ball for the... Look, he's done it for his whole career. I get it. He's hitting it a little harder with more authority and going for more shots. It makes a big difference when all of a sudden you just tell yourself mentally that I'm going to hit winners with this backhand that people think is my weakness, and I'm going to go for it, and I'm going to step into the court. But that's a whole footwork attitude. I think it's more about Federer's feet, getting inside the court, taking the ball early, and going for aggressive shots. But backhand slice is still super important. I wanted to make a video about it because during Wimbledon, people were saying to me, uh-oh, Federer's slicing too much. I don't know if he's going to be able to win. He's slicing the backhand a lot. Oh, no! Ah! The cat got scared of that sound. Sorry, Mr. Goat! Alright, so what do you know? Our personal friend of the show, our good buddy Craig O'Shaughnessy, has got an article, Variation Powers Federer to Nito, ATP Finals, Semifinals, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so, what is the story? Let's pull it up on the screen. In the press conference, all you needed to hear was this. This is what Federer said in his press conference. I think I was able to stay the course and use my slice quite effectively, then try with variation and go into his forehand. He's talking about Zverev, where he just won 6-1 in the third set last night, or yesterday afternoon, whatever. So Federer is back to hitting a lot more slice returns and slice backhands in London because the court conditions and the opponent simply dictate it. The backhand slice is a major weapon for Roger Federer, and he'd be crazy not to use it, especially on these low bouncing surfaces like Wimbledon, where he won. And of course, I get it on the TV, so I'm pointing over there. You guys have no idea what I'm pointing at. But the Nito ATP World Tour Finals. The Nito thing, I'm still trying to get used to that. It's kind of strange. So if you guys watch the show regularly, you know I'm not a big fan of the giants. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fun to watch Ivo Karlovic and John Isner with their big monster serves. And of course, I enjoy Zverev and Del Potro, guys who can actually move around pretty well despite their size. Just a little bit smaller than Isner and Karlovic, but definitely a lot better of movers. But still, in the long run, I think it's way too hard on their big, tall bodies. Even a young guy like Alexander Zverev, did he run out of gas? What happened in that third set? 6-1? Another thing about it is these guys, it's so easy if you have a good slice. Not everyone has such a great slice where they can knife it low regularly, consistently, over and over. But look who does have that shot down. Roger Federer and Grigor Dimitrov, my two picks. Not a coincidence there. I had a strong feeling that these guys would be able to use the variety of shot, use the backhand slice, get the ball low, and it's just exhausting, especially for the big guys. But even if you're not a big guy, if you're just a, Federer size, Dimitrov, 6'1", 6'2" size guy, having to run all over that court and then get down real low for the fast, low, skidding slice shot. It's really hard. It's really, really hard on the body. And if you're a big, tall giant, it's going to wear you out having to constantly get down. So let's go through the article and talk about some numbers so you can back up what I've been saying all along. Craig O'Shaughnessy actually went in there and got the numbers for us. Overall, Federer hit a dominant 64% of his returns as a slice, flattening out his return only 36% of the time. This is in stark contrast to Alexander Zverev. Zverev came over 95% of his returns, hitting only 5% as slice, and I guarantee it wasn't as good or as quality of a low biting slice as what you'd see from Dimitrov or Federer. This clever strategic adjustment from Roger Federer reduced his return speed, which is not always a bad thing, lowered the rally when he returned shorter, and here's the key, also provides less power to be immediately used back at him. So like a really dumb thing to do, if you wanted to go play Alexander Zverev and just get blown off the court, is this a quick sip really? You want to get blown off the court, just start hitting balls hard to his backhand. Serve hard to his backhand. Take his serve and bust it as hard as you can. This is especially where you notice it, because when you return serve, well, when you serve too, but especially when you're returning serve, let's say he serves you out wide, you're pushed off the one side, hit it really hard right to his best shot, his backhand, and he's going to take all that power, and so you're over there, and so his backhand goes boom, whoosh, all your power redirected the other way, clean winner, can't touch it. But then, what Roger did so well was take the block, the slice block, get it low to his least favorite shot, his forehand. That's why I heard a lot of chatter on the tweeters and even the commentators saying that Roger's not really dictating in this match. He didn't have to dictate. I don't think that was the game plan. Obviously, when he got a short ball, he's going to pounce on it. When he has a chance to go into the net and finish things, Roger was doing that. But a lot of what the game plan clearly was run him around, move him around, hit low slice shots, and make him hit a ton of forehands, and just let him miss. They got the game plan together, obviously, on Alexander Zverev, and that's the forehand can go a little crazy and start making a bunch of unforced errors, and we definitely saw some of that throughout the match. Roger was going for that. It worked well. Let's look at some final numbers here. On the first serve, return speed, average, Roger is returning 50 miles per hour, Zverev 62. The second serve, this is where you got to hit it a little more. Federer 59 miles per hour, Zverev 73. But here's what's great about that. Federer put 70% of the first serves from Alexander Zverev back in play. 84% back in play on the second serve. He attacked his returns much more with his feet than with his hand. Here's my favorite stat. Roger moves in 0.9 meters behind the baseline on the first serve. That's his contact point. Whereas Zverev is double that, 1.8 meters behind the baseline. On the second serve, Federer is inside the baseline, his contact point, half a meter just about, 0.4 inside the baseline. Think about that. All that power from Zverev on the second serve, it's bouncing from inside of the baseline, right off of this little kind of block slice thing return that Federer's doing, and it's coming right back at you. He's redirecting it, taking it very early, so it's coming up on you quick, but it's a slower ball. So he's taking it early, it's getting up on you quick, coming back to the baseline. I know Federer floats it deep, but it's a slower shot, so you can't just redirect it, or two-hand backhand is what Alexander Zverev wants to redirect with. That's his best shot. So you can't just redirect that power. You got to create it. You got to get down. You got to do all the stuff. It's a pain. And then finally, this gets to me in my final stats, and I'll go over this more in the next coffee break tennis to really get into, oh, of course, the one I wanted is not here. Let's just look at the Jack Sock match. Federer, Jack Sock. Look at these numbers. Roger Federer winning 90% on his first serve, 65% on his second serve. These are like Wimbledon numbers, maybe even a little better. And Jack Sock, 69% win on the first serve, 59% win on the second serve. And I can't remember if Alexander Zverev's numbers were better or worse, but they weren't much better if they were better at all. They're kind of similar. So that's the point. When Roger is able to get 80%, was that right? Did I say that right? When Roger is able to get 84% of the second serves back in play and 70% of the first serves in play, you're naturally going to have a lower win percentage on the serve. You're eventually going to get broken. And of course, Roger is just spot on. He's not hitting a ton of aces, but he's hitting some aces. Roger's getting a high percentage, 63% against Jack Sock. You know, it's not the highest first serve in percentage, but it's pretty high considering that he's always hitting like right on the line or right in the corners. You know how they show that stat on Tennis Channel all the time where here's the serve box and then here's the space that Federer doesn't touch with his serve, and he's just getting it on the little tiny rectangles on the side of the box and underneath it right below, right in front of the serve line. So think about it, when Roger is getting 63% of his first serves in that little space around the majority of the serve box, right, those spaces, he's going to hold serve a lot. He's one of the best movers. He gets inside the court, he puts it away, he finishes at the net, he can do it all. So obviously, it's just going to be really hard for anyone to beat Roger. Grigor Dimitrov winning 77%. And 56% first and second serve, 54 in. Not as good as Roger. Just like I said, the serve's not as good, obviously. Then in his destroyed David Goffin 6-0, 6-2. Grigor Dimitrov 57% in, so still lower than Federer, who's in the 60s. And 85% win on the first, 55% win on the second. So those numbers are pretty similar. So I really think we're going to get this all-Fed final because this surface is perfect for Dimitrov when he plays the way he should, kind of like how Roger plays. And for Roger, because this is just one of the fastest and lowest bouncing courts on tour, year-round. This is one of the best ones for those guys. So let's see if it keeps playing out. Let's see if Roger and Grigor keep using that backhand slice to get their opponents having to bend down real low for a ton of balls. And let's see if they can keep serving well, because the serve and the slice, the variety, seems to be winning this tournament. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in for Coffee Break Tennis. Not so quick sip. Really can't call it a quick sip. Coffee Break Tennis is brought to you by Crunch Time Coaching, one of the leaders in online tennis instruction worldwide. We are a tennis player's best friend and one of tennis player's ultimate resource. So make sure you guys subscribe below, hit the thumbs up, let me know that you like Coffee Break Tennis and that you like good tennis instruction. If you want to work on your tennis game, like I said, we're a tennis player's best friend. We've got free instruction. Just subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you don't miss any updates, and just take a look around. We got tons of videos on every tennis player's topic you could think of. Also, we got a 10-part series on being a more complete player coming up very soon, so be on the lookout for that. We're going to show you how to build yourself up from the ground up and be a more well-rounded, complete tennis player. Kind of like a Grigor Dimitrov or a Roger Federer.